guys, it's Miss Emolyn. We're going to be doing a drawing class today, and I wanted to tell you about the supplies and also the location. Notice we are outside, it's a beautiful day, springtime, and we're going to try to do a landscape drawing. So after I tell you about the supplies, we'll get set up for which direction we want to look, which area we want to work with. But I have some friends here that I wanted to show you. I said I lived on a farm, and I promised to show you some of our buddies who are here on the farm. They were just sheared, so they get their hair cut once a year, but these are all our little lambs and the moms, and so we are going to pick a part of this landscape. I'm out in a big field, and we're gonna think about the trees, the sky, the grass, this little barn, the sheep in the pasture, and then we have a fence line and a hill. So we're gonna set up for a landscape drawing today. Okay, I also brought some inspiration. Here's a book on some towns, and they have sketched some really cool drawings of France. Here is my sketchbook. Hopefully you have something at home you can draw on. Here's our ruler, and here come some lambs, guys. Look how cute they are. They're very curious little guys. And then here's some colors. Hopefully you have some colors. And here's an example of something that I actually drew with sheep in it. Once again, sorry, I'm a little distracted by my buddies here. Okay, so we're gonna get set up and away we go. I will get back to you in a second. All right, so everybody's happily eating grass in the sunshine, and I'm just trying to find the perfect spot for doing our drawings today. One thing that we're going to be focusing on is a series. It's called a series because we will draw it once, we will flip the page, we will draw it again, and we're going to be focusing on depth perception, foreground, background, making things up close and far away. After we draw for a while, I'll probably finish it with a couple tips and tricks, and maybe actually inside so that we won't be distracted by the sunlight and the wind. But I do encourage you, if you can't go out into a field, to just go outside of your house for this drawing lesson. Sit outside, hopefully it's sunny. Maybe you've got a place in the garden where you could look at real trees when we draw the trees. We're trying to use real life inspiration today as opposed to something in a book or on a screen. So if you can set yourself up in a garden, maybe your picture would actually have some flowers that are from your garden that you could look at for your drawing knowledge. It's always, I think, easiest to look at the real thing as opposed to something that has been simplified, like a cartoon or a clip art image or something like that. And hopefully you've got something like that to inspire you. Okay, I'm gonna set up. I have my little drawing desk right there. I'm gonna move it back where I am, and we will continue. Okay, with the nature, we're adding inspiration from some books. I encourage people to travel, and I love to travel. One of the fun things about seeing places that you don't know, you can carry around a sketchbook with you and walk and draw. So let's find, so say you were in Toulouse and you see this really cool building, and this artist has sat down and tried to sketch it. journaling and drawing at the same time. Toulouse in France. Maybe some of you speak French. At Wonderland Performing Arts, a lot of my students do speak French. Here's another one. Maybe you'll be able to go visit some of these places yourself. So sketches then will become drawings, paintings. Sorry, I've got a little bit of shadow on the page. So this person traveled and then drew what they saw. Okay? So these are buildings, and obviously we're in a pasture, but if I combine what is in the book with the pasture, that's how I created this picture, which I found it on the wall of my parents' house, and I was in the 8th grade when I made this picture, so it's not something that I've done recently, but I combined the buildings with the sheep, and the picture has depth that's farther away, and then these things are up close. So hopefully you can work with me to create something like this today. We'll see how the line in the back is straight across with the diagonal lines coming down, the little sheep in the pasture. Just want to sit on this for a minute to give you some ideas. This is a simple cardboard frame around it, and on the back I have my name and that I was in the 8th grade. So while you work on your art, it's a good idea to sign it and date it, because before you know it, you'll be looking back and be like, wow, I was in the 8th grade when I made that. So that, combined with this book, combined with our pasture of the little lambs, that's what we're going to be working on today. All right. Get set up with your supplies. Here we go. All right, so the sheep are going to be coming and going, and we're going to try to practice drawing them, but we're also going to be working on the page with perspective. Okay, so for that, I want to show you a quick way to get something far away. So for today, I'm going to put my paper in top to bottom portrait size as opposed to landscape, just to demonstrate something for perspective. Okay, so quick and easy, put your ruler down. It's about 2/3 more, 2/3 on the bottom, 1/3 on the top. Okay, and make a quick line. All right. All of a sudden you can see that this could potentially be a horizon line. So draw that on your page. Draw the horizon line. Next, we're going to do a quick diagonal. Okay? Take that ruler. I'm not going to go all the way down the page, but I want to stop in about the middle of the page. Okay? Do that with me now. Alright. Then I'm going to go over, I have this really big ruler, over to the side of the page. Okay? And I'm going to do another diagonal. Do that with me if you can. Okay, so above the line is going to be what we see far away. The diagonal lines are the middle ground, like the pastures. We can put some sheep there. The front, the foreground, we're going to do a building. You'll notice that over here I have this castle, but we could also do the barn with the sheep, or we could do your house. You could do whatever you want, okay, for the foreground. Maybe you can turn around and sketch your own house and put that in the front, okay? So that's going to be up here. We're going to try to put some sheep here, and then this is farthest away in the horizon. All right. So we're going to use this fence line and some trees. Let's draw some trees far, far away, and maybe a little building far, far away. Okay? Pretend that this is a little fence. Now I know some of you are comfortable already drawing, but what we want to think about is that it doesn't have to be perfect first. Second is that you just want to keep looking at what's in front of you. I'm making this really, really small, even though what's in front of me are these trees. But I'm playing with the perspective a little bit, okay? Now, you can see in the video, all the way back there is another row of trees and the sky. Okay? And we could do 2 lines of the horizon. Why don't we do that just for fun? We've got the one that we drew with the ruler, but what if we come back in? Because it's more hilly where I am. If the horizon is far enough away, generally in drawing you can do a straight line if it's supposed to be super, super small, because it's very, very far away. But let's look one more time. I'm seeing some mountains, and there's one of the sheep. They were just sheared, which means they cut off all the fleece. It's like a haircut, and that's how we use the wool. These are very happy sheep. We shear them once a year, and then with the wool we make yarn, and we can make sweaters and hats and everything. So they basically get to hang out for a year and eat grass and green and everything. But okay, we'll work on the sheep in a sec, but let's work on some of these trees. Okay, I'm gonna draw this nice tall one. Give it a go. The trunk's going straight into the horizon. And it gets pretty skinny up on the top. I'm gonna make it go all the way. Using a pencil, we'll be adding color later, but spindly branches reaching to the sky. Now just observing this tree, I want to stress once again, and I talk about this a lot in the way I was trained, but also what I work on with my students at Wonderland is to draw what you see, not draw what you know looks like a tree, if that makes sense. Because the real part of nature is way different than what we think we already know how to do. Okay, get some more trees down. Here's one. Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do the tree to the left of that. There's a bird in the sky right now. See him? And then I'm going to do the mountains in the back and the clouds. Work on that with me. Now when you're drawing it, notice that one tree has leaves and one doesn't. Okay. Try to draw the fence line. So today we're doing drawing. Session 2 was flip books, and thank you to those of you who shared your flip books with me. And we're probably going to go back and forth between skills like drawing and then things that are more craft oriented, like building things like a flip book. So if you have any thoughts about what you want to work on, you can always email me through Wonderland Performing Arts, and we will be doing a lot of different projects, but today it's about drawing and really practicing the skills of drawing. You have to just slow down and become a good observer. We worked on that with our first session where we drew the fiddlehead ferns, and this session for sure. That's why getting outside to do it, at least for me, I feel like I have a little bit more patience than if I was drawing from somebody else's image and just copying what I see in a book. This way you are trying real hard to draw what you see, and so here's a tree that I drew. There we go. Okay, and then I was working on the fence line. And I also want to put in the mountains back there. So let's look at the mountains and see what you can do on your page to add some mountains that are far away and some trees. The trees that are far away kind of look like furry in a way, because you can't see all the leaves necessarily, but you can tell it's a tree, so you don't have to make it super detailed to get the trees in the background. Some of these trees are pine trees too, so they don't even have leaves. They definitely look more furry. All right. Now, here comes a sheared sheep walking right in front of our picture, focusing on eating grass. There's a little lammy right there. Okay, looking back at the page, I want to add some clouds. Okay, so add some clouds with me. Now clouds are all kinds of shapes. The thing is we don't want to just say, oh, it's a circular shape, so I'm going to draw it like a cartoon cloud. Look at those. Those shapes are way different than if we did the bubble cloud. So let's try to practice that instead. We see, draw what you see. Do you have a cloud in your backyard that you could draw? You can make the cloud go off the page. Alright, so here's some clouds right there. Okay? Okay. So we can work a long time on this background. All the little individual parts of the fence, the tree. But I want to draw something in the foreground. So let's think about this. What would you like to draw? A castle? Maybe we could find some inspiration like that. Let's try to draw. Let's try to add this into our picture. Alright, guys. Okay, basic structure. Let's see here. Get the diagonal for the top. Actually, the way it is in the page should be pretty big, so I'm going to zoom in and we're going to try to draw this structure nice and big on the front of your page. Okay, if you want to use a ruler, that's fine too, because you want to see the diagonal line along the top, right? And then, so you could have that be with a ruler. And then the line over here, let's see if I can point to it, goes out. Okay? Make the line go out. Up and out. And then the posts come down, straight down. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. You don't have to do all of them, but we always want to draw as best we can what we see. Right, guys? I'm like a broken record. Draw what you see instead of just what you feel like drawing, because you're more comfortable with that. Now, the other way we work on perspective is how it looks with the ground. Okay? So just like the top, the ground is also going on the diagonal. So if you want to add the ground in, you can, or you can make your building go off the bottom of the page. Okay, I'm going to make mine go off the bottom of the page. However, the posts in the back need to be slightly higher than the posts in the front. Okay, so with this, just practice makes perfect, right? So with this shed, I don't see the top. I can see the front edge, but I don't see the top, okay? And then in the drawing, I put it really far in the front of my picture. Oops, sorry, there's wind, as what happens working outside. So now my perspective is a little bit different than what's in front of me, and that is okay. All right, I want you to just keep working with hard stuff like perspectives of what you see for real versus what you end up drawing. Okay, so that's not bad. I mean, I could put some sheep under there, but it's not exactly what I see. But anyway, I'm gonna fix it by putting a top on it. Okay, and I'm gonna make it go off the page. Practice one line, if it doesn't quite work. Alright. So a little bit later on, I'm going to move back inside and work more on this image, and then we will compare what you've been working on. But here's, I feel a little bit better about that. There it is. There's my far away background. Okay, now let's add in a couple sheep. So I'm gonna put them in the middle. When you look at them from far away, they just have these little ears, two little ears. And if they're looking at you, let's see if I can show you. Now, we want them to look far away. We'll have to work on this a little bit more without holding the camera, but let's get a couple more. Now when they have all their hair, they're definitely more fluffy. I wanted to have y'all draw the sheep, but then they got sheared before I did the lesson. They like to stay together. We'll walk over there in a second, but they're all sitting there together. Okay, put a couple more sheep in the pasture. It is a-okay if they look a little bit more like a horse. Some of mine are. And it's funny how few lines will create an image. So there's some of my sheep out there, and that one looks more like a horse. But okay, so that's the middle ground. Foreground, I'd want to work a lot more on that, and background. Okay, that was our goal for today. So I am going to take this back inside, add some color to it, and we will wrap up together in just a little while. Okay, but before I say goodbye for now, let's see if we can see the lammies. All right, check back in a sec. All right, guys, I'm back inside. There's less wind, less sun. It's easier to actually get some work done drawing. Here's what I was working on. Here's the book that we were looking at for inspiration. Here's a nice one with a good perspective in that. And imagine sitting in front of something like that and drawing that. How wonderful would that be? And then here's the one that we saw earlier that I worked on when I was a kid, and then we had our real life animals to add into the mix. It's a really good idea when you're trying to create something is to take something from a book that you admire, an artist that has done some pretty cool things, then see if you can incorporate it with real life, like going outside, and then kind of blending it all together and working on something. And what I mentioned in the beginning too was using it as a series. So if I wasn't super happy with this, I would just flip the page and begin again, or wait until I had another break, sunny day times to go outside and sit with the real animals in nature, looking at trees and flowers, and then combining them all, and you get your new original art piece that way. All right, that's it for session 3. I hope everybody is staying safe and being well, and we'll see you next time. Wonderland Performing Arts WonderCrafts class. Bye, guys.